Hello and welcome to my 12th video on how to create your own minigames. This video I'm going to be showing you how to create a new tab for your shop so players can buy trails or particle effects. It's up to you what you want to call them. But to start off, what I'm going to do is go to the Screen GUI shop frame, and I want to have a bar of my tabs right here. But to do that, I'm going to have to bring this scrolling frame down because, as you can see, it's right where I wanted it and it's blocking it off. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller and position it lower. So now I'm able to create my buttons no problem. So create a text button and size it however you wish. And position it to wherever you want to put it. I'm going to call this one gear button because that's once I click on this button, it's going to show me the gear shop. And once I click on this duplicate I just made called trail shop, or called trail button, it's going to show me the shop with all of the trails. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is go to replicated storage, and just like the gear shop, I'm going to have a folder. So I'm just going to copy it and call it trail shop. Now instead of tools, in this folder we're going to have particle emitters. So just insert a part. So we're going to insert a part and a particle emitter. And if you just drag it into the folder, it'll go in no problem. I'm just going to call this one sparkles, and from here copy the info folder and put it in, because the GUI is going to take the same information from the trails as it would from the tools, so it doesn't really matter. We could just use the same thing. But for the decal, I'm going to take the particle emitter's texture and make that the decal's texture. Alright, so we got our trail shop in replicated storage. Now we got to make a trail inventory for the player once they join the game, for a place to put the trails. So I'm just going to call it trail inventory. And just like that, I got my trail inventory. We're going to come back later so we can save the trails. So I'm just going to leave that open. But now we have our trail shop and our trail inventory. So now we can start scripting inside of the shop frame. So here, I'm going to be adding another inventory and shop, the two I just added. So trail inventory equals player.trail inventory, and trail shop equals game.replicated storage.trail shop. Alright. Now, since we're going to have multiple tabs now, we're going to have to keep track of which tab we're on. So to do that, I'm just going to make a new string, call it tab, and set it to gear by default. And from here, just add tab equals gear at the starting of the function. But we also need to clear the scrolling frame. But as you can see inside of the items frame, we have the UI grid layout, so we can't just do clear all children. So I'm going to make a new function, clear items, And what this function is going to do is it's just going to loop through my items, and if it's an image button, then it'll remove it. That way we can keep the UI grid layout. So for IV in pairs, script.parent.scrolling frame items get children do. If the is image button, then the destroy. Alright, now just call the function here. Okay, so those are all the steps that we need to take to add the new tab. Now what I want you to do is just copy this function, load gear shop, and paste it. And rename this new one to load trail shop. And I'm just going to tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of copy and paste, and then just replacing a few words. So it's going to be a pretty short video. Okay, so what you got to do here is press Control H, and it's going to find keywords and replace them with whatever you put in here. So if I type in gear and I replace it with trail, it'll do a lot of work for me. Just keep on going until you hit this function here, and you should be good to go. Okay, now what I want to do is make these buttons call the functions. So script.parent.trail button mouse button one click connect function, and then load trail shop. Or what I can just do is load trail shop in here, then script.parent gear button mouse button one click connect load gear shop. Alright, now I'm just going to test it real quick, make sure it all works. Okay, we got our gear tab loaded in, trails, and we got our particle. Perfect. Oh, I gotta change the name. So what I gotta do here is I want to make this image darker, and I'm gonna rename the display name. So go to trail shop, sparkles, display name, sparkles. Since I don't have any points because of the glitch last time, I'm gonna have it so the sparkles are free because I have no points right now. Okay, so nothing works yet. Well, other than changing tabs. Let's see. Oh, right. Okay, so you remember this tab here? This string? What we gotta do is, this is the quickest way I could think of, so instead of having a bunch of different if statements, we could just remove the gear inside of every invoke server and then concatenate the tab. I'll show you. So I erase gear, 2 dots for concatenation, and then tab. And do that for every invoke server. Remove the gear, concatenate tab, remove the gear, and concatenate tab. Just like that. Alright, from here, I think I could start scripting on the server side. So go to your shop. Alright, okay, so create a module script. I'm going to call it shop module, and let me explain what this shop module is going to do. So it's just gonna make it a lot cleaner for our code here, and it's also going to make it easier because we're going to have to use the functions that I'm going to put in here a few times, so we'll be able to avoid some copy and pasting, and it'll make it a lot faster and cleaner. So create a function, module equip trail player and name. So what this function is going to do is it's going to add the trail onto the player depending on its name. But there's a few things we got to check first. What I'm going to start with is if player, then make sure the player didn't leave the game yet. Now if player.character and player.character find first child humanoid root part. So the reason why I'm checking for player.character find first child humanoid root part is because that's where I'm going to be putting the particle emitters. So I got to make sure it exists, because let's say the player falls into the void where they get deleted, then they wouldn't have a humanoid root part, so we got to check that. They'd still have their character, I believe, but they would not have their humanoid root part, so we just got to check that. Okay, so from here I'm going to check if the player has their trail inside the trail inventory, and I'm going to check if that trail exists. So local trail, I'll call it trail from shop equals game.replicated storage dot trail shop find first child name, and a local trail equals player dot trail inventory name. Okay, now we just got to make sure these two things exist. So if trail and trail from shop, then if trail and trail from shop, and then we can insert the particle into the player. So local clone equals trail from shop clone clone.parent equals player.character.humanoid root part. And I misspelled trail here, just like that. Alright. So we insert the trail into their character, and we gotta make sure it removes all previous trails, because I don't want them stacking a bunch of trails on top of each other. So let's say I have 20 different trails and this player owns 7 of them. I don't want them equipping all 7 of them at a time. I want them to only have 1 on their body at a time. So that's where this second module function is going to come in. I'm going to call it module remove all trails and have player as the parameter. And just copy that function module remove all trails player. So we're going to do the same checks as here. So you can just copy the first 2 lines of the equip trail function. Just make sure you add the 2 ends for both of the ifs. And then here, all we got to do is loop through the humanoid root part and remove all the particle emitters. So for IV in pairs, player.character.humanoid root part get children do. If V is a particle emitter, then V destroy. But that's not it. We gotta disable all of the other trails, because in their shop it'll tell them to unequip a trail even though it's already unequipped, and I want to avoid that glitch. So all we gotta do is loop through the player's trail inventory. For Avian pairs, player.trail in trail inventory, get children, do if he is no, all you gotta do is v.value equals false. And here we also gotta do trail.value equals true. Okay, go into your shop script. Alright, so all you gotta do is go to this first line, if objective is equal to buy gear, all the way down to just before where that if statement ends. Copy that, then type else and paste. All that does is it creates the new else if for us, and all we gotta do is replace it. So search for gear and replace each gear with trail again. Just make sure you don't go overboard to the point where you're changing the other if statements for the gears, because you don't want to do that. Okay, so you can empty out the equipped trail and unequipped trail. Just keep by trail the same and go to the top of your script. I'm going to require the module now so we can quickly get our functions done. Shop module equals require script.parent.shop module, and then I'm just going to copy that. Shop module equip trail player T1. T1 is going to be the name of the trail that we want to equip, which is exactly how we have it set up, so we won't run into any problems. And then shop module remove all trails player. Did I misspell that? Okay, no, I didn't. Now we could just go in and test. Buy. Okay, so buying the trail doesn't work. I'm gonna have to get to the bottom of this. So, just gonna make sure it's adding the trail to my inventory when I buy it. Okay, it does. So maybe if I click on, okay, yeah. So what I gotta do is make it update the text every time something happens. That will be easy. Okay, so go to your local script. Inside the preview.buy button, mouse button one click. Just underneath these if statements here, add local inventory equals player, square bracket, open square bracket, tab, dot dot for concatenation, inventory. And then just replace gear inventory with inventory. And the same thing down here. And this should change the text as soon as we click on it. Okay, so, yeah. But it isn't equipping the trail, So I'm gonna got this in a p call, right? Maybe I misspelled one of these things. Yeah, I misspelled one of those. So okay. So I misspelled replicated storage. There we go. You see the particles coming out of my body? Alright. So this works all fine. All we gotta do next is for when the player respawns, because as you can see when I die, you'll see that my particles aren't there anymore. This is going to be really easy thanks to our shop module, and I'll show you why. Go into starter player and insert a regular script into starter character scripts, and I'm going to call it trail. Okay, so how starter character scripts work is once a player respawns, whatever's inside of it is going to be inserted into the character, I mean. So as you can see here, the trail script is there. But from inside the character, for some of you who might not know, there's a function for the inside game.players to get a player from the character. So that's what we need. Make a variable called player game.players get player from character script.parent, since the script's going to be inside of the parent, inside of the character. And from here, just going to loop through the player's trail inventory. And if v.value, then okay, so what I just did there was I copied the shop module, put it in there. So shop module equip trail player. So now when I respawn, I should still have my trail if it's equipped. So trail, so what's this? Shop module is not available. Oh, that's why, because I just copied it. Okay, so you can't just copy it. Gotta do require game.server script service .shop module. My bad. Hopefully you got onto that. So trails by equip. Now I'm just gonna respawn myself real quickly. And as you can see, we had a problem. Oh, yeah, okay. Shop module equip trail. We just forgot the name, so add v.name. Now, if I buy a trail and I equip it and I respawn, you see I still have my trail. Sweet. So real quickly, I'm just gonna make this shop frame invisible now. And I'm going to make the sparkles look a little more like the typical trail effect. Let's see how this looks. Not bad. Yeah, I like that. They don't rotate though, because I didn't set a speed. But if I respawn, I still have my particles. That's what I want. Alright, so now all we gotta do is make it safe. This is gonna be really quick. If I go to main, and okay, so inside the loading data part, add else if name is equal to trail, then bool.parent equals trail inventory. And what we're going to do here is if bool.value, then we're going to use the shop module again. So just paste the shop module up here and then go here. If bool.value, then shop module equip trail player bool.name, or it's just P, or player with a capital P. Alright. So loading's done, all we gotta do is inventory trail. I don't think I had an S up here, no I didn't. So make sure that whatever you type in here is the same as this. And all you gotta do is loop through the player's trail inventory. And insert it into the trail table. Now you can publish your place and press play. Alright, this works. And I'm lagging a little bit. That didn't help. Okay, my trails are still there. Or my effect is still there. I'm gonna rename it to effects because it's not really a trail. It's just particle effect coming off me. But if I leave and I rejoin, I should still have the trail on me. But I don't. Okay, was there an error in loading? Or is there... So the error is in main on line 66. Oh. I really hope you caught on to this. I don't know what I was thinking, but do bool.parent equals player.trail inventory, not a string trail inventory. Publish that again. Since that save script was corrupt, I'm not sure if... Okay, yeah, okay, it still works. And I'm lagging really hard. I think it's just because I'm recording. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to make a new minigame, and I'll see you in the next one.